Yo, welcome to another episode of the Culturally Controversial Podcast. It's been a while. Been gone for a little minute, but we're back. I'm here with my co-host Ty H and our special guest tonight, head coach of the Anson Senior Bearcats, Coach Landon Allen.
Yes, sir. Football's back. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for
Hey,
coming,
glad to
brother.
have you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Tyree, you want to start it off?
Sure thing, Coach. I'm get to the nitty gritty. Last few years, even when you were defense coordinator and when you were head coach, uh, one of our biggest hindrances has been lack of depth. Last couple of years, having roughly around 32, 33 guys on varsity. What are the numbers looking like this year, and what's the depth looking like this year?
We're excited this year, man. We've got probably the most kids that we've had in the program for a really long time. Um, Excited about our numbers. During the summer, we were hitting those 90 numbers, for JV and varsity pretty much, all through June. Kind of dipped down a little bit, but we're right now, we're sitting at 45 guys on the varsity, and 35 guys on JV right now. So really good numbers.
Yeah, that's still about 80 guys, though, still, right? Roughly or
Right.
so.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
sitting
80.
right at 80. Yep. Sitting right
Yeah,
at
for,
80.
for a school that's in a four-class system would be 2A, 4A, and an eight-class system. That's still pretty solid numbers. Those numbers are similar to the numbers we had around like 2000, 2001 in Fred Davis's last days. So that's those are encouraging numbers to give. You're at least two or three deep at every position. So that puts you in a position where if you have injuries, which you're likely going to have in football, that you're not just paper thin. It also puts you in a position to where you don't have to play everybody both ways. So I know you're excited about that.
Right. And so yeah, super excited about that. That's one of the things we've kind of put an emphasis on throughout the summer. And with saying we've had 45 guys on varsity there, that I want to add in that those guys have been here all summer. It hasn't been a not here and then show up. These 45 guys have pretty much been here all summer, all through June and July, and then right here in August, the first day started on July the 29th was the first official day. So, I mean, everybody's been here and going to platoon this year, and we're really excited about the uh, the depth and how that's gonna help us out and help us win football games.
Gotcha. And Nick, before I go to you, I want to ask one more question. I
Mhm.
want to go back to November when we were at Eastern Wayne and we left from there. And I remember at the end of that game, I saw a lot of the guys. You could tell that they really cared. You could tell they're really hurt. They're really disappointed. They were so close to winning that game, but fell short again, which was kind of the story of a lot of our games last season. A lot of our games came down to 2 or 3 points or one possession type games, and I feel like a lot of those games we lost because of attention to detail, lack of attention to detail at the most crucial moments. Uh, have you seen a new level of focus and a higher level of attention to detail during the summer?
Just going back to last season, you pretty much hit on it. Every game we were in every single football game last year. Competed in every single one. Um, And so credit to those guys. Didn't get the season that we wanted, but they definitely had a lot of fight in them, and also had a lot of buy-in, and that was a good senior class. The record maybe not showed that, but they had a lot of fight in them, and a lot of good kids in that group that we're going to miss this year too. Um, but that Eastern Wayne game, 21-14, the difference in the game was, the second series where they blocked a punt and took it for a touchdown. I feel like
Yep.
if we would have played, I feel like if we would have played 5 more minutes of that game, we'd have won that football game. And so, little things, talking about special teams right there, something we've really been harping on. Getting that fixed, and telling the guys, this is the difference between winning and losing right here, making sure that those guys on special teams take it seriously. And that's been a good thing with two platoon and two. You have guys that are going one side of the ball that, you know, taking special teams a little bit more seriously as well.
Yeah. or do we have anybody uh for for place kicking? And if you don't want to give that away, that's fine. But I'm just
Oh
asking.
yeah, yeah. So we've had a kid. He's a sophomore. He's been working. He's been here all summer as well. Gabriel Dillon. He's been coming and kicking. And then also in the kicking game, we have our punter back from last year, which is Justin Medlin, who was our all conference right tackle last year.
He looked like a linebacker. I remember.
Well, he's gonna be playing some tight end for us this year. So,
Okay, cool, cool.
Okay.
sir.
Nick,
Take the, all right. What's the? I wanted to ask. What's the message been since we started workouts this year, going from the spring to up to this point?
Really just finishing, in the weight room, finishing reps, whatever we do, make sure that we're finishing. Because we talked about a lot of the games that we
Mhm.
were in, we didn't quite finish. Even we talked about halftime. There were so many games that we were up at halftime. I think there was maybe two or three that we weren't winning at halftime last
Mhm.
year. So it's been all about finishing and doing your job, executing and having discipline and finishing.
Okay. You good, Tyree?
all right. Speaking of that, man, a lot of that I think came down to a lot of turnovers, man. As far as like why we didn't finish in the second half, something that
Right.
really bothered me last year, and I actually have it in front of me. Last year we fumbled the ball 23 times and lost 16 of them, and
Yep.
and and we had two starters last year. I'm not gonna call names. 'Cause I'm not trying to humiliate anybody. And both of them have moved on, but we had two starters that lost five fumbles, another starter that lost two fumbles, and then one, two, three, four, and four other guys who lost a fumble. Uh, you're not going to have success if you lose 16 fumbles, man.
No.
The ball security, man. Are we feeling better about that going into this year?
Oh man, big time, big time. That's really been a point of emphasis on offense. Coach Carr, he's coaching our running backs this year, and Coach Carr is a guy that played in the wing tee at Wallace Rose Hill, and so he's implemented a lot of ball security stuff with those guys, and really, harping on just taking care of the football. So 100%, and we're telling our guys, if we take care of the football, we don't fumble it, and we eliminate space, man, we're going to win a lot of ball games this year.
I love it. And with your offense, man, I want big shoes to fill, man. The QB position, Doc Hyatt, we lost him to graduation.
Hmm.
Is it an open competition for QB? Is there someone who's emerged as the clear cut starter? Is there still a question mark on that? How do you feel
No,
about that position? And do you feel like come week one that we'll be ready and have someone cemented at that position?
no, we have a clear cut starter at quarterback right now, and it's the guy that was our quarterback last year for the JV, pretty much the whole season, and that's Josiah Wall. Josiah is a sophomore, also a basketball and baseball player, so multi-sport athlete, and so we're excited about having him at the Hem this year.
Okay, just looked him up. Okay, 5 foot, 5'10", 170 pounds, sophomore. Okay, I see him now. On his picture, he had number 13 on his picture on Max. Correct. So,
Yeah,
I'm
so he'll be wearing number three. He'll be wearing number three. That was just a media day. Look, a little
okay.
picture right there. I got to finish getting all those uploaded on Max Preps. Yep. So Josiah will be in number three this year, playing quarterback for us.
Okay.
Okay.
Nick, I know I'm hogging the time, but I gotta
Oh
ask
no,
him
you
this.
good.
Uh,
Go ahead.
because I'm giddy about the team speed. I'm looking at this. We just won a state championship in track.
Right.
And two of the guys who are part of that state championship team are on the football team. Is that correct?
That is. Yes, sir.
Okay. And first of all, do you think that championship experience, even though it's different sports, just that winning mentality and that championship experience, do you think that they brought those qualities to the football program that's going to help them translate that winning over to the football team?
Oh, big time, man. Big time. I like to say that Coach Carr, he coaches running backs for me during football season, and then when winter and spring hits, I become the assistant for him. He's our track coach, Coach Carr, and so really really great guy to work with, super guy, and does a great job with the track team. He was a sprinter at Wilmington as well. does a great job with those guys. Mackenzie Bowman would be one of the guys that you're talking about that was on that team, and also Nahaj Johnson. And both of those guys will be taking a lot of quality reps in the defensive backfield for us for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so that's speed back there in the secondary. That's something else that worked me last year. Last year,
Yeah, too. Yeah.
the back end of the defense uh, really, really,
Really
really,
struggled
really,
at the beginning,
yeah,
yes.
had some opportunity to improve. So,
Hmm.
do
For
you think that
sure.
was
Yeah. So, talking about that, talked about Coach Carr, being with the running backs. Coach Blackwell has stepped over to the defensive side of the ball and working with the defensive backs and has those guys playing fast. And, that seems like they're really taking that next step and learning the game. And so excited about the defensive back field this year as well.
okay? And Nick, I yield the floor to you, man. I've been taking up all
Oh
the
no,
time.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna piggyback off what you were saying about the defense, considering that we didn't really play bad as a defense. Considering that the secondary just had a couple of miscues at some times. Because like you said earlier, um, when you asked the question, they were in a lot of games with defense, and now I wanted to bring that up because I know we talked last year. Depth was a issue last year.
Mhm.
Now this year, the defense will there be a lot of rotation of different guys in and out.
Well, I mean, ideally right now is that, I told the guys this today. Ideally right now we have 22 starters
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
come, August 21st. Does that mean that, those are the only guys that are going to be playing out there? No. And does
Okay.
that mean that there's no guys going both ways? No, we do have some guys going both ways. And, that's just, you know, using what we have and putting guys where we need them to be to be successful. But I would say definitely yes, there is. We have guys that will be rotating, but you know, we're hoping that we eliminate the guys that are going both ways so that they are fresh for one side of the ball and being two platoon, and using our numbers to our advantage.
Okay. You got Tyre.
All right. Getting ready for the week one opener, man. You and I had spoken not too long ago, and you said the week one opener is the key. With your first opponent is Red Springs. That was a team
Hmm.
last year that we lost opener to. We lost them 32-30.
Hmm.
Quite frankly, on a BS pass interference call. But if we wouldn't have fumbled 4 times, we wouldn't have been in that situation.
That's
But
right. That's right.
um, but at least last year, even with what Redskins had, I thought that we had the better combination of players. Uh, this year, how do you think we match up against them? Did they lose a lot? Did they have a lot of attrition, or are they bringing the same team back to the best of your knowledge?
And talking about that Red Springs football team from last year, they're a really good football team. They actually had two kids that went on to play at the Shrine Bowl.
Okay,
So really good football team. They were pretty senior heavy last year, I believe. Um, I'm not sure exactly what all comes back. I know their running back. I believe he was five last year, and also plays linebacker. I believe he's coming back. Um, other than that, I'm not too sure. Just
okay,
kind of been studying more systematically as opposed to player depth right now. Come after these next two scrimmages, once we start exchanging film, that's when we'll start really breaking down, who's playing those certain positions. So right now, it's more focus on the schematics of what they do that instead of who they have.
right. And I'm sure you're also equally as focused on doing what we do best as well,
Right,
to put
and that's
ourselves in there.
Right, and that's what I tell the guys. The most important game we have on the schedule right now is Week 1, and that's Red Springs. We lost to them by 2 points last year, so we got to go beat them first. And telling them, it really doesn't matter what anybody else does other than us. We got to make sure we have discipline. We got to make sure we execute our assignment and finish the game, and everything else is going to take care of itself.
Fair enough, man. And that's the coaching you send one week at a time. As a fan, when I look at the schedule, and I skip down to the conference season, and I'm thinking like, man, who? I don't know if you just have a game marked in your calendar, but I wonder like who's the team to beat? You got Forest Hill, you got Mount Pleasant, you got Forest Hill. When and I'm sure you're gonna say all of them, but who is the team to beat? If you know Ric Flair says to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Um, who is the man that we got to beat to be the man?
Well, again, like you said, we got to beat everybody. To
I
that,
knew it.
to be the man, you got to beat everybody.
That's
You
true.
know, but
Mhm.
with the top dogs that finished right there in the top of the conference last year, Monroe, won the conference final standings last year, and then Mount Pleasant finished second, Forest Hills finished third. Then you had Parkwood and West Stanley, so that's the entire conference right there. But the plan is to beat all of them. Where the goal is to have a conference championship, and the goal is to bring a home playoff back to Anson County.
Yeah, don't take anyone lightly. I one thing I will say is even in conference play against those top dogs, we were competitive against all of them.
Mhm.
That game against Monroe, that game went back and forth, and just we just kind of fell short in the last 4 minutes of that ball game. That
It
game
was
was
a
we were
2020
leading at
ball game.
halftime,
Yeah, with
right
three
in the fourth
minutes.
quarter.
Yep.
Game against Forest Hill, man, we lost 14-12. Just came up short on 2 point conversion at the end of the game. The
Right.
game against
Both of
Mount
their
Pleasant.
touchdowns were on fourth down, might I add.
Yes, I remember the what last game of the season or second last game of the season. And against Mount Pleasant, we were getting hammered early in that game and scratched and clawed back in the game, but just wasn't enough to overcome it. Overall, we lost that game 26-14. Um, One thing about all those programs are really physical, especially Mount Pleasant.
Mhm.
So far, do you think that we have the physicality to match those teams if we want to get where we're going to get to?
Yes.
I
Yes.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yes. No, 100% we do. These guys, what we do isn't just what we do, it's who we are. There's no question to the buy-in of the guys that we have on this program and what we do. And they like doing it. And, we got to take pride in that. So, just going to other, coaching track, you're around a lot of other kids and you hear them talking about, when we played you guys, man, our coaches, did X, Y, and Z, and what we do is a little bit different than everybody else, and so they're trying to talk their kids into playing a physical brand of football, and we tell them that's who we are. So
Mm.
we shouldn't have to get ready to do that. So going back to the what you said in the very beginning, we got to take care of the football. We got to take care of the football. We got to eliminate big plays, and we got to get off the field on third and fourth down, and we'll be successful.
And does it concern you like when you're losing guys like Jackson Stinson to graduation, losing guys like Tashawn Harris who played a big role in offense and defense? Do you worry that there could be a delay in the young guys stepping up replacing that production? Or how
I
do
mean,
you have those guys ready to go week one?
those guys that you talked about, dudes, really, really good football players, and you talk about hard nosed. That's their brand of football. They're great football players, but I would say that the guys that we've had guys step up and they're confident and they've worked to be confident. So definitely excited about seeing them kind of make a name for themselves this year.
I'm excited too, man. Nick,
Yeah.
Um, my question I was gonna ask. Um, I want to go back to conference last year.
Hmm.
I like. I seen the difference the year prior to the year of last year. I know that we lost a good bit of those games, but I seen more competitive fight last year than I did the year before. If that makes sense.
ag- agreed.
Right, in that we competed in every game.
Game.
The teams
Mhm.
that we were quote unquote aren't supposed to beat. You know, people would say we competed in every single one of those, and the year before we did struggle in those games. Yes.
And I like the fact that those guys they play like I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I've seen games where if we get down a good little bit, we kind of just kind of what's the word I want to
Fold.
say? Not. Yeah,
Right,
well, yeah, kind of like, man, it's the end. But those guys, they played all 4 quarters, like
right,
it meant something. Even though we didn't come up on the W side of it, it showed that they willing to go all the way to get a win.
right, for sure. Yeah, the lack of fight definitely was not anything to do with it. That's for sure. They definitely were willing to fight all the way through the end and go through the adversity. And that was the big thing, in talking about that year was, what are we going to do when we face adversity? And, the guys did well in that.
Mm-hmm. You got Trent.
All right, with your staff, are you returning the same staff? Any additions? I know you got Coach Blackwell. You mentioned that. I'm assuming you still got Coach Hyatt. Any additions or subtractions to your
Yeah,
staff this
I'll
year?
go ahead. I'll go ahead and just mention everybody, man. So yeah, Coach Hyatt's offensive coordinator works with the offensive line. Coach Carr be working with our quarterbacks, running backs, work a lot together. There, Coach Terry Harris coaching our defensive line. Coach Howard, our defensive coordinator, linebackers coach, and Coach Blackwell are being our DBs and secondary coordinator there. Added on some guys this year we're excited about. They'll be helping us out on Friday nights, but they are the JV coaching staff, and that's Coach Stephen McCollum, Coach Stepp, um, actually from Robeson County. He helped coach basketball a couple of years. I don't know if you know Coach Stepp or not. Um,
I don't
he's going
know.
to work. He's they're coaching both sides of the ball, but he'll be working primarily with the offense. Coach Lomax, Josh Lomax, former player here, was a GA at Wingate. Just finished up. He's going to be teaching here in the fall. So excited about having him at staff at the high school, and then Coach DG, Coach Gainey, has come on as well, working with our skill kids and our linebackers. And he's also a guy that played for us in 2019 on that team, and a really good player for us at safety.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
Nick.
don't let me forget Pastor Steve now.
Yeah, Pastor Steve.
Pastor Steve, team chaplain. If I don't give Pastor Steve a shout out, he'll give me a text message. So
Nah, I got a lot of respect for
definitely
Pastor Steve.
appreciate
Pastor
Pastor
Steve.
Steve. He's the man. I
Yeah,
like to give him a hard time, and he likes to give me one. But he's a good dude.
yeah, I respect him a lot because he's a person who stands up for what's right and stands up for all people. He doesn't pick favorites or certain groups. He loves everybody and he
Right.
wants everybody to be treated right. So I
That's
respect him
right.
for that.
Man of God.
Yes, absolutely. Nick.
Okay. Um, my next question is a real question because we had the kind of the same issues y'all had this summer with all the issues and crises that were going on during the summertime that happened. I know that kind of affected practice to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
What was the atmosphere like during that time? Especially that we couldn't do nothing because of what was going on, and I
Mm-hmm.
won't get into detail about what happened, but
Right. Well, I'll say that we through that process, and we're talking about the water, correct?
yes,
The water crisis.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and talking about the water, had a lot of people step up and help us out through that time. We did miss 2 days of
okay,
practice because I think it hit us on that Monday, Tuesday, but we were good to go that Wednesday, Thursday
Wednesday.
that
Hmm.
week.
Hmm.
So, but had and that following week, everything had kind of cleared up a little bit, but we still weren't able to drink our water and things
Right.
like that. But it's good to have coaches at other places, and then had parents, my parents, and donate water and food and stuff like that for the guys to have. But also went to Albemarle High School, filled up water coolers and ice, and they helped us out, and so we brought them back, and so it was pretty much business as usual through there. One
Hmm.
of the days we also went to Richmond County and had a 7-on-7 and a lineman challenge there, in which they supplied us all water, fed us, and so you know it was 2 days got us, but other than that, it was business as usual.
Okay.
Okay. I like how already faced adversity during the summer and we didn't let that stop us. So hopefully that's a good omen for things to come.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, the guys, it was killing them to not, because it hit us right there coming out of the dead period.
Hmm.
So they were already a week off, and then we had to cancel Monday, and they were bummed, and then Tuesday hit, and they were like, Coach, we got to figure something out, and so we did.
Yeah. And just so I know, to the general public who's watching that may not be familiar with the situation, what we're referring to was the water crisis that happened in Anson County when there was a water main burst, which for a couple of weeks impacted the citizens' ability to drink water and have access to the water. So
And
that's what we're
also,
referring to.
right, and also a big help, too, right there toward the end of it is Timmy Horn helped us out as well, big time. Plays with the Titans now, Anson football alumni, 2015 graduate, and he
Charlotte
helped us.
49er too.
Right, helped us out with he hooked us up with a lot of water as well, and we still got some, and so we use those every day. And shout out to Timmy, big help.
Yes, sir. And big fan of Tim Horn. And like anytime I reference Tim Horn, Anson Bearcat and Charlotte 49er, we're not going to bother about K State.
Right, yeah, I'm excited for him this year, though, man. I think he's gonna have a great year at Tennessee, and I'm looking forward to him doing well.
Tim's a humble class act too. I met
Oh
him,
man,
had conversations with him when he played for Charlotte, and always humble, always a class act, always had the right attitude. Same thing when he played at Anson. Always humble, always a class act. And hopefully one day, man, when his career is over, come back home, we can celebrate him, retire his jersey, and all that stuff.
for sure, for sure. Yep, really good dude. We appreciate him.
Speaking of jersey retirements, I know this is not really to do with this season, but uh, is there an appetite at some point, like on that alumni night, to have any jersey retirement ceremonies, such as a Tim Horn, such as a Stephon Anthony? I know Coach Jackson retired Anthony's jersey, but I'm talking about formal ceremony. Is there any appetite for that with some of our players who emerged past their time at Anson?
Right. I don't think anybody would be opposed to it. It's not anything we've had in the conversations, here lately. But there are a lot of big things going on. I don't know if you guys have been past the high school today, but there's three
Yeah.
big, uh,
Pieces of something.
big pieces of equipment out there for that jumbotron that's going to be up all the way at the end of this week. So excited about that. But I don't think, you know, the athletic directors, would definitely have to head up that, and principal Mr. Stinson. But I don't think anybody would be opposed by having the conversation.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I think it would.
I would love to see our guys get on it, especially guys who were the guys I just mentioned, great examples on the field and showing they're great human beings off the field too.
Right, 100%.
Yeah, I think they should definitely have something. Like I know that we were talking about it a while back with Ralph when he was explaining the whole that they have a Hall of Fame
The
type
Stanley
deal,
County, yeah,
Stanley
Stanley
County
County
Hall
Athletic
of
Hall of
Fame.
Fame, yeah.
Hall of
Yeah,
Fame, yeah, the Stanley County Hall of Fame, we do. Yep.
I think it's just me speaking. I think it's kind of time that Anson should get one because we have a lot of people of yesteryear that deserve from any sport in this county: football,
Right.
basketball, track and
And
field.
here's something that I would love to have as well would be like a record book with the football information, like, who passed for the most yards in what game, and who rushed for the most yards in this season. And I've never seen a record book that, and I would love to see that. You can pull up all the information since Max Preps has been a thing, and
Mm.
but would love to have that information, prior to the Max Preps internet era.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because and I know we're worried about the now and what we could do going forward. But do those young men, do they have an understanding of the history and the tradition of this program,
Oh
and
yeah,
and
for
and
sure.
and 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 and, and that they have an opportunity to be the class that resurrected the program?
Oh yeah, for sure. And the seniors, messaged me about that last night. About leaving their mark and being the change and bringing Anson back to what that was. And I'm excited for them to have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And
Some
we're doing
some of the guys that we're talking about are some of these guys' fathers and stuff. That's
right.
what's
Mm-hmm.
amazing about it. And the crazy thing about it, coach, is that back when, let's say, people like Dennis Rory and all them playing, that's been almost 20 years ago. It doesn't, because I've been Nick and I graduated 20 years ago. It doesn't seem like it's been that long since guys like Stephon Anthony played. And I'm sure Coach Hyatt has told you plenty of stories about
Oh
Stephon
yeah.
Anthony. But
And I saw him
it
playing firsthand too. I came to the Olympic game when Anson played Olympic here, and I believe the second or third round when Jordan Hildreth and
yeah,
all were here as well.
and blew him out 55-20.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there. So I'm hoping that the guys have an understanding that what's happened over the last decade or so, as the numbers have gotten smaller and as the population has gotten smaller and the resources have thinned out, that wasn't always the case. And I'm hoping that I'm sure you're familiar with that Facebook page that shows highlights of old games from the 90s and 2000s. I'm hoping
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes Anson pops up on there sometimes, and so I'm hoping that they see some of those Anson games, see how crowded the old stadium on 52 and the stadium on that we have now, see how crowded that stadium was. I
right.
Mm-hmm.
if we can get off to a good start, coach, I think that we can resurrect that and it could be like the old days.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. And guys make comments about that too. Sometimes they'll ask about, like, do your guys know about it? And I tell them, yeah, they know it. They know it. They do know it, and they're I think they're ready to make their own piece of history in that.
And like I say, and do you know what that would do for your legacy? That you to say that you're the guy who brought it back.
I'm just trying to
We
coach football and do the right thing, man.
the last time we won a playoff game was when Coach Hyatt was the head coach in 2013 when we beat
Right.
Southern Guilford. That was the last. And I'm sure Coach Hyatt could tell you what the atmosphere was like when that happened. I'm
Oh
about to
yeah.
say you have the opportunity to be the guy who resurrect and to resurrect the program. And if you are the guy who resurrect the program in Anson County, when you're winning, you get treated like royalty.
Well,
Um,
it's it's
so
not me, man. It's not me. I gotta. You're only as good as your assistant coaches, and and those guys are they're in there coaching their butts off, and to these guys, man, they're this group that we have. They're a special group, and so like I said, I'm excited to see them make their own name.
gotcha. And for the record, having Coach Hyatt there, a guy who's a part of all of that success
Yes. Yeah.
on your staff, man. How paramount is that, man? And having a second set of eyes from a guy who used to be a head coach and a head coach right here at this program. How helpful is that, man? Having basically a second head coach right there in your corner.
Oh man, it's awesome. It's awesome. Coach Hyatt is one of the best guys I know. Great friend of mine, and I can't say how awesome it is to have Coach Hyatt on staff here, and it definitely helps out with him knowing the history and then knowing a lot of the people around here. And I've been here 11 years now. I don't know if it seems like it's came and gone fast, but I've been here 11 years now, and I feel like I bleed orange and blue too. So
All right, I better not catch you no green and white.
no, 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 no,
At
no, definitely not.
least not in front of us.
No, never, ever.
I hear you. All right, Nick.
All right, I wanted to bring this back up because I been paying attention to the non-conference schedule, and I think me and you talked last year in your office, and we were talking about a particular game coming back. So
Hmm.
now that I see that the game is coming back, we got to keep that trophy at the house.
Right, got it up here. Yeah, I
Mhm.
got it up here. I mean,
The
what?
Carolina Farm Credit Battle of the Borders Trophy. Is that what you're
Mhm.
referring
Yeah,
to?
Mhm.
yeah. We got the Battle of the Border Trophy here, and so excited about that. Getting that game back on the schedule with Coach Dixon there at Chesterfield. 13 minutes from one school to the other. So I believe it's actually the closest high school to Anson High School.
Yep.
Um,
Chesterfield
Mhm.
Golden
so
Yes, it is.
Rams.
Yep.
yeah, we're definitely excited about bringing that back. The guys are excited about playing that game again. And having Coach DG, here on the team, who was a part of that team that won that trophy, and him talking to them a little bit about it too. You can tell their excitement for that game and playing for a rivalry game.
Yeah,
Yeah, and mention that God rest the soul of Coach Tannehill, who
Tannehill.
who was coaching Chesterfield at the time that this rivalry started, former South Carolina Gamecock, during the off season. Unfortunately, we lost him, former Chesterfield head coach. So, despite the rivalry, whatever, my condolences to the Chesterfield family for losing the former head coach.
What was that? You broke up right there at the end.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, Coach Tannehill. I know that he was a rival of ours,
Mhm.
but still saddens me to learn that he passed away during the off season. Coach Tannehill used to coach Chesterfield. He
Oh,
passed away a few months
oh
ago.
yeah, local legend, man, local legend for
Yeah.
sure.
State
Yep.
champion,
So
Liz. Three time, but yeah, 3 time state champion.
right, and I
Yep.
believe I believe their head coach now, Coach Dixon, he was the quarterback of the team that won the state championship. So
Maybe one of them. I know
No,
one
Keem
of the
Johnson was.
Akeem Johnson was quarterback on one of them, then or at least a couple of them. And the funny thing about it, during that time that we were playing Hanson, there was a lot of like one guy plays for Hanson, the first cousin plays for Chesterfield, and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So that's what even made that even more special, and that game more heated. I got family cousins down there who would talk junk to me before the game and stuff, like we're gonna
right,
get you and all that. So man, I'm excited about that game too, man. I love rivalry games, man. Like I hate what I'm not going to call it by name. I hate something that happened in 2019 that kept us from
Mhm.
playing another game that I wish once we
We could
got our
still
numbers back
play.
up that we could play. But
Yeah.
right. And but that's why I tried to get a lot of close games, so that we could build up rivalries with different people, and having you have Montgomery Central, right there, who when they first started were in our conference,
yep,
close to us in
Mhm.
numbers, uh, pretty much border counties,
yep,
one high school county, so you have that game, you have the Chesterfield game with the Battle of the Border, you have South Stanley, who's
Shank.
right
Mhm.
down the road. So, and a lot of those guys, like you said, a lot of those guys have the same family members there. Especially the ones that live right there in Ansonville. So definitely tried to bring that back. And then the Red Springs game was, they are the closest 4A school. Um, you know, exact numbers as us that are not in our conference.
Okay.
So
Well,
and then
and
the
FYI,
last
oh,
game
sorry.
there with Pender, that's a
That's a
haul
tough.
and travel,
That's a
but
that's a tough football team.
Yeah.
they're a really good football team. They
But
do a
they
great
yeah,
job.
but honestly, y'all hung in that game for a good while.
About three
Quarters,
quarters. In
quarters,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they hung in there, and it was
Right.
raining. They hung in
But
there a while.
they're a really good football team. They run the triple. They're bringing everybody back, and so we're excited about going up there and competing against a really good football team. That went to the fourth, fifth round of the playoffs last
Playoffs.
year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I relish the challenge. And the good thing about it, of the teams that are on the schedule, all of those are solid football teams. None of them are cakewalks, which I think is
Right.
good because you don't want to cupcake your schedule. Because if you cupcake when it's time when you face somebody good, you're not battle tested. So I like the fact that you schedule competitive teams. Even South Stanley coach Shankles has really turned that program around, and we saw last year firsthand that it's not the old South Stanley that we used to play. So
No,
that's
no,
see,
big time.
we got our hands full with that one too.
He's done a
Yeah.
great job there, and definitely what you said when it comes down to playoffs and rankings and all of that, you want every team that you play to go 10-1, or sorry,
Yeah,
9-1,
because
because
the RPI.
right, because of that
Yeah.
RPI. You want your RPI to be as high as it can be, and so you want your opponent's winning percentage to be high. You want your opponent's winning percentage to be high, so it helps you out in the long run.
I agree. One more game I got circled, and on paper, if someone might say, "Well, why would I circle this game?" But I still think that last game against West Stanley, for some reason, I just feel like that's going to be a battle. I just feel like when it comes to Jackson versus Anson and all that, I just still and I just still feel like that's going to be a battle and a game that you can't take lightly.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Coach Jackson will have his guys ready to play for sure. And him coaching, Coach Jackson coaching with pretty much all of us on the staff. Let's see. Yeah, everybody on the varsity staff, and then two of the guys that are my JV coaches. He was their head coach, so definitely will have fun that week.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game, and I feel like they're going to be much improved record wise. I think winning that playoff game last year is really going to help propel them to be much better this year. And I think that when we play them, that's not going to be a cakewalk at all. I think that's a game that we have to be prepared and make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Right. Well, we're definitely not going to take anybody lightly. Want to beat them all, but we're not going to take anybody lightly.
Right.
Absolutely, Nick.
Um, what was my question? I forgot. You asked me, and I got to remember my question. It slipped out my mind because I was caught in the moment. I was caught in the moment.
It's all good, my man. Um, I was gonna. I don't want to ask strategic stuff because I don't want to give anything away. I was about to ask with the gentleman that you mentioned that was JV quarterback last year. And forgive me, Mr. Wall, Mr.
Yeah.
Josiah Wall. Is
Yeah.
is is he's athletically whatever? Is he a guy that has elite speed that can add another dimension to the offense? I'll keep it vague like that.
I wouldn't say Josiah has elite speed, but he can run. He can run. He
Okay.
can, he can run and he can throw the ball, and he's a good athlete for sure. He's a good athlete, and we're excited about him playing quarterback for us this year. And
I got
playing.
you. Don't tell me no trade secrets, man. I don't want everybody to know what they.
Well, I'm about to say I'm not gonna ask that question because I was on the same page as you on that one, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
God, maybe we'll talk
Yeah,
off the record. We'll talk off the
yeah,
record with no cameras
yeah,
about some of that stuff.
yeah.
Well, go ahead, Nick.
Um, conference. This was on getting to conference. Now I know it's way down the road. It's nothing you ain't got to answer if you don't want to.
Mhm.
Uh, considering last year, um, that we had a lot of close games. You think now that the radar is on, I think a lot of teams, and this is just my opinion, I think they woke up a little bit and seen what happened. Cause I felt
Maybe,
like they thought it was something they could just go in and do easily, and then
but
realize, oh,
yeah.
What happened?
it
Well, I
might be.
mean, they've seen our brand of football played before, so I would say, yeah, I guess. But on the other hand, I feel like people are, kind of not expecting us to be what we can be this year. I think we're still kind of flying under the radar just because of the final record. Even though we played with everybody, I feel like we're flying under the radar to and have that opportunity to surprise a lot of people.
I like.
I look at it like the transition from '03 to '04. This is way before your time. You and Nick, you played on those teams.
Mm,
When Coach Grooms first got shout out to Coach Jody Grooms. When Coach Grooms got here, the first year we went 3-8 that year, but the next year or 3-9 rather when you the next year we went 8-5 the very next year and
mm,
started and he kick started a run where we went about 6 straight years where we won 8 or more games and about a 4 year run where we won at least 10 games and about a 4 year run where we at least got to the third round of the playoffs and that kick started. And whereas the year before in '04, excuse me, in '03, we only won 3 games and brought a lot of the same guys back the next year and ran a triple option type offense too. And in
mm.
'04, won 8 games and finished second in the conference. In a conference that had Concord and people like that in it.
Hale,
So
Brown, Sun Valley,
yeah, yeah, a
Eastern
very
Brown
tough league.
League.
So
Yeah,
so and that year we flew on the radar too. You had a lot of guys at that time, guys like Barkwell Rivers and sophomores and stuff like that. I'm sure you're familiar with that name.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can fly under the radar like that again. But then by the end of the season, put ourselves on the radar and say this is us, and we're ready to take on whoever we have to take on to get to where we want to go.
100%. And I honestly think we have that mentality right now. So,
The confidence, the swagger, all that. I think if we get off to a good start, I think all that'll build, and I think because I want those guys not hoping that we can win, but going into Friday expecting to win.
just win.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. And I think that's what we are right now. I think we're expecting to win, and I'm excited about that. Like I said, we are expecting to win. I don't think others are, but we are.
right.
Hey, and that's all that is us
Matter.
against the world, right?
Word. It's 1-0 every week. So those 1-0s add up to to some substantial things like conferences, home playoff games. Those things. I'm pretty sure that will be something to see.
Right.
And like I said, the
Well,
first step is
I
first
told the
believing.
guys in the weight room.
Yeah,
I told the guys in the weight room. I said, when I have this interview, I'm going to make sure that I tell them that this is the team that's going to bring the home playoff game back to Anson County, and so I do
I
believe it.
believe it.
yeah.
I believe it. You believe it, and I hope they believe it.
Coach, you got a question on the in the chat.
Where can we buy this shirt? Epic Sports. Epic Sports got a double wing on here, man.
All right.
Epic Sports.
Yeah, Epic Sports. I got the. If you want the graphic, I got you, Coach.
Yay.
I can
If
send
we
you the
want the
graphic,
graphic.
Coach.
Oh, speak since Sam is on. That kind of brought me a question. The fact that Sam's coaching the youth, those future Bearcats. Do you and Sam ever coordinate to kind of make sure that those
Yes.
youth Bearcats are kind of when they come to you, they already kind of being prepared for what you do?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, me and Sam, we sat in the office here twice here last year and got on the board with each other. And Sam's a good dude, and
Very good dude.
yeah, very good
Mhm.
dude. Anytime he wants to come in here and talk football, this office is always open.
Yeah, and Sam was a very good offensive guard. I think Sam played guard at Anson, and
Yeah,
he was a
guard.
starter too. But no, Sam and his staff, man, I love what they're doing with the youth as well. Just giving them a shout out to Sam, Sam Williams. For those who don't know, check out their games on Saturdays. Nick, you're on that staff too, right?
Yep.
You
Oh
shout out
yeah,
to you for that. Shout out to Coach Gary Simon. Shout out to Pastor Jeff Crump, who's also on that staff,
On the
and
staff.
whoever else I may have not included.
Coach Pop, Coach
Yeah,
Pop,
Coach Pop.
Cannon
Buchanan,
before.
yeah, another great guy. Yep.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and
Yeah,
Sam, Nick, I know I'm in real coach Allen, but I want to ask you, Nick, with your guys of it, how do you feel about the crop of young men that you have at your age that Coach Allen will be getting in about 3 or 4 years?
we got some talent for them. We got some guys that can do some amazing things, man. You'd be surprised, man. These kids are athletic, and I mean athletic to a T. They are they're special. Like I've never seen. I'll say this: I've never seen some of the speed on younger kids like that. Like,
good to hear.
yeah,
And what I'm hoping happens is like I'm sure you're familiar with South Point High School in Belmont. They
yeah,
ran what they call the red bone, which was a variant of the wishbone. They ran that for
bone.
years, and what they
Triple, yeah.
did, yeah, all of those schools out there in that part of Gaston County that was
Oh yeah, they run
in the
that.
district there, they had them run that, and then by the time they got to South Point High School, it was like clockwork. I'm hoping that you guys are coordinating in the same way to create a similar type continuity
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely the vision. That's definitely the vision. So.
and middle school and all that too. I hope.
Right.
Um,
Oh yeah, in the
yeah,
middle school they are too. And this group of freshmen we have, obviously teaching a little bit, more to the next level and playing high school football. But that's what they did last year as well in this group of ninth graders that we got. So excited about that group too. They're a good group.
that's good, man. Like the present and the future is bright.
yeah. You gotta build the future, cause man, I say this with all respect, man. You gotta put into these kids, cause I mean, if nobody does, then
That's right.
what you got?
They deserve it, man. They're
They
good.
deserve it. It ain't about a dollar. It ain't about notoriety. It's about trying to make them better people, great athletes, and even better human beings at the end of the day. Like
That's
it's
right.
that's the most important part of this now.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
I've
preparing them for
learned so
life.
much. Yeah, preparing them for life because the world is once you get out of high school, world's not easy.
That's
It's
No, it
right.
is not.
it's not easy. By no means. I don't care if you feel like you have a high confidence level. This world will eat you because I mean even the person with the highest confidence, it that word this world
Uh,
can
you can go up to down in a matter of 5 seconds, and
five
everything that
seconds.
you built. Everything that took you 20 years to build could be gone from. Coach,
Mm-hmm.
I see you pressed for time, but I got one more question I got to ask you.
You're good, man.
Okay. I do want to ask you one more football question. Are there any guys on your team that you expect to take a leap, like the to really take a leap from last year to this year to really break out? Are you seeing anyone that you see breakout potential?
Man, that would be a big list. That would be a big list. There's a lot of guys stepping into new roles that I'm excited about. What's up, Kelvin? There's a lot of guys that I'm excited about. I mentioned, Chevy Simmons. Just got an offer from UNC Pembroke the other day. Um,
Congratulations.
so excited about that. We have, I believe, what is it? Six starters coming back on offense, and you could asterisk two of them that also got a lot more reps. Um,
Okay.
that probably started, I would say, 4 or 5 games as well. So
Okay.
right at eight, defensively, looking at right at five starters coming back on that side of the ball too. So I mean, all conference guys from last year that returned to the team. You got Justin Medlin, who played tackle for us last year, playing tight end, also punting. You had Cordarius Bivens, who led the team in rushing. You got Walker Stinson, who was an all conference center. Um, Titus Mungo, one of our captains, playing. He's going to be playing his second year at linebacker. James Steele, ran into that injury for us a little bit, but started on both sides of the ball last year. Expecting him to uh, have a really really good season. We call him the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but anyways, Deontay Nelson, a guy that was a sophomore starter last year on defense, looking to see what he can do on both sides of the ball this year. Um, Man, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys. I could go on and on. Nyshawn Lilly, Mackenzie Bowman, Nahaj Johnson, Ty Marion McCormick stepping into a new. We got a lot of guys stepping up into a new role that I'm excited about that could have a good breakout season.
I'm excited about it. I love the versatility
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
and also Devin Tucker. Devin Tucker's another one that's had a great summer. He was our leading receiver. He reminds me of that all the time. So you got Devin Tucker, who's our leading receiver, coming back on that side of the ball too. So excited about getting Jaden Allen back after an injury. Like I said, list could go on and on.
Okay, yeah, I see Tucker. He averaged 22.4 yards a catch, so he's a guy that can, and like a guy that can take it to the house.
Right.
Nick.
Right. Yeah. So,
All
yeah,
right.
but I don't. I could go on and on. There's a lot of guys. You got, Daryl Richardson's also a guy that started for us at left tackle. Andrew Martin started for us at left guard. Um, let's see. I think that's all the starters. Ahmad Gramblin started at corner for us last year, also coming back. So a lot of guys, and there's a lot of guys from that JV squad last year that are stepping into big roles, and so I'm excited about them all, man.
All right.
Gotcha.
It's hard for me to sit here and pick.
Yeah, I know.
I all these boys, man. I want to see them all succeed. So
You sound like a dad that's not going to pick between your kids.
right, right,
That'd be like me asking which daughter is your favorite.
right. I can't do that. Can't do that.
uh,
I got three of them, so I would get in trouble there.
yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, Nick,
But
congratulations to you too, because you got a son and daughter now.
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Congratulations.
appreciate it. Hopefully he can live on the lineage, the legacy.
Yeah, man, get him up here at Anson in about 15 years, and see if Coach Allen can get him to a state championship game.
I
That's
take it.
right.
I take
That's right. I tell the guys I've been here 11 and I got 19 more.
There you go.
it. That's the best way to count.
Yeah, man.
Well, I got one more question before we get out of here. And this is something that you feel free to answer it any way you like. Um, what would you like to tell the fans of Bearcat Nation this season?
Just come out here and support these kids, man. They deserve it. Come out here and support these kids. They deserve it, and they've been working hard, and I love them, and I think if you come out here, you give a chance, you come out here and watch them, you're gonna enjoy. You're gonna enjoy watching them play.
Oh yeah.
Come out and see the new jumbotron.
Yes,
I
they
can't wait to see that.
New
And those,
jumbotron, Rayfield's Burgers. You can't beat the environment here on a game day.
uh, and y'all
Yeah.
got some sick jersey combinations I've been seeing on Facebook too. I like the
Yeah.
gray jerseys. I love those gray ones, and
Yeah,
of course the
man,
traditional orange and the blue and all that.
for sure. I tell the boys they're spoiled. They got a different home jersey for every home game we have. They got the orange jerseys. They got the gray jerseys. They have the gold star jerseys that are supplied by Woodman Life, which is also the Chesterfield game. It's on 9/11. This year's the
Oh yeah,
25th anniversary of 9/11 and
yeah.
250th anniversary of America, and it's going to be right here the
Yeah.
Gold Star game, which is also the Battle of the Border. So
That's gonna be it's gonna be a good atmosphere.
yeah, I think I don't want to give it away or anything for Woodman Life, but I think they're going to plan on doing a show after the game as well. So we're excited about that.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. I think we talked
And the
about this.
black uniforms, forgot about those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about the black ones. Y'all got more jerseys than the Oregon Ducks.
I know I talked about this. We talked off the record about this though.
Oh,
I was considering that we were talking about is there a possibility that Ants could get some throwbacks in the
Some
near future?
throwbacks,
Mm-hmm.
man. Uh, I mean, if you know anybody that wants to donate some money, I'll be glad to order them.
Just wishful thinking, you know.
Yeah. Well,
so we need a benefactor.
Yeah.
the scrimmage uniforms that we have that we'll be wearing on Friday, they're kind of like that. They were designed with the huge
Oh,
Bearcat paw on the side, so you'll get a little bit of glimpse of that on Friday.
All
okay.
right.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Well, coach, we ain't gonna hold you up, but we appreciate you for coming on, and we love doing this every year, and getting ready to kick off the season because it's right around the corner.
Right,
Yes,
100%.
sir.
No, I just want to say before we go, I appreciate you guys doing this and covering Anson football, bringing excitement to Anson football, and the kids enjoy it. I enjoy it. Um, the coaches we enjoy it, and we're glad to see people bring light. Like I said, when you said, "Do you have a message for Anson?" Anson Bearcat Nation. It's come out here and support these kids. They deserve it.
That's cool
And
with
that's
me.
exactly what we're gonna do.
That's
All
right.
right. Yeah. And with that, y'all, we appreciate everybody for coming in tonight. This will be up on playback if you didn't catch the live. You go back and watch it, share it, get it out here. We want everybody to see this tonight. We want this to be a bigger thing because we cover this. This is our season. When season starts, we in season. So
Yep.
we cover these games every week. So
And hopefully we'll be doing this all the way through December.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
that's
right.
yeah. I need something to
I
do in
already put it
December.
on the facilities calendar for the school. I went ahead and put all the way to the December the 12th, so just so they know. So
The day after my birthday, so that'll be a great birthday gift, man.
that's
Seven
right.
days from mine.
That's right.
But yeah, coach, we appreciate you for coming on, and we appreciate everybody for coming out again. Thank you, everybody. If you hadn't subscribed to the channel, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that notification bell. Let you know when we're going live or when we got content dropping. But with that being said, coach, we appreciate you. Um, Thanks, Tyrell, as usual. You know, and we finna be up out of here.
Take care.
Peace.
Appreciate it, guys.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.